Akon. Biggest star that I've ever styled. Global. Got there. Paid me my fee. And on top of that, tipped me.
How much she paid you?
I'm saying that. We were long. I got paid in dollars.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good, yourself.
Sorry, this platform, we're just having a conversation. There's no intros. Like, yeah, welcome to my YouTube channel. But anyway, you look very beautiful.
Thank you.
You look stunning. Shout out to your assistant. He's doing the most. I don't know. I forgot his name actually.
Sakile.
Oh, he's doing what?
He's assisting me with everything, child. Everything.
So he's the one who made you look this beautiful.
Yeah, and who made the craziness come together and be like, okay, let's style it this way. Yeah. You know, because it's easier to style people like other people, but then you have to style yourself. You need another person to be like, okay, let's make it look like this. So dope, he's my second person, my second brain.
Oh, so you are like the mother. He's
I don't think you'd like
sibling,
to say
not
that.
the child, the sibling.
Okay,
there's a difference between
the sibling,
the
sibling. Yes.
Please tell people who you are, where you're from, and what you do.
Okay, so my name is Udirile Tlaile, but I don't really like letting people know about my surname. I do it because of my dad. My dad really believes in, like, when you introduce yourself, you better say your name and surname. So even when I introduce people like Sakile, he always wants to know, what's your surname? You don't introduce yourself like this, you know? Yeah. So out of respect for my dad, my name is Udirile Tlaile, proudly so, but known on the street as Udirile the Savage Stylist.
Jeez.
Yeah.
The Savage Stylist.
Yeah, the Savage.
Look at yourself. Huh? Look amazing. Huh?
Yeah, thank you.
So tell me, I was looking at your Insta page and I was so impressed with the styling of your clothing. And I thought, let me just wear something, you know, just to, you know.
To brighten up my day.
At least, you know. So how did you get into styling? Because I think that's a career that a lot of people normally wouldn't look at.
I didn't know that I was going to become a stylist. It wasn't part of the plan. I actually was a PA. Jeez, don't know how I did that. But yeah, I was a PA for a big retail company and I had 3 brand managers. So I had 3 brands that I was answering to. So it was hectic. I would get there early and leave there late. It was so draining. I was not loving my job and my main manager saw it. But one of the brands actually made me a marketing assistant. So I was like a PA/marketing assistant. And I saw a gap because we would work with influencers and give product to the influencers. And I realized that, no, man, the brand, the outfits that they were giving to these influencers were not what they liked. Because I would get like emails saying that, oh, okay, but thank you for the gift, but it's not my style. So I saw an opportunity there and said, because I love fashion, because fashion is something that I've always loved as a kid, but it was more so of like, I just like looking good, not necessarily I want to be a stylist.
Yeah.
So because I knew that I had a knack for fashion, I went to my manager and said, let me decide for the influencers which outfits out of the range I should give per person. So therefore you still get your range out there, but at least I know with this person, this will work. With this person, this will work. And that's how the stylist thing came about, because then people would now start saying, can you style me? These influencers, would you style me? You know?
Yeah.
And when I saw like people love that, I approached one of the biggest celebrities, which was Boiti. I DM'd her and the manager got back to me and I said, like, our company would love to give you some product. And through giving you some product, I would really love to be your stylist. We had a chat. They said, yay. And this was the time when Boiti was not a musician yet. So she was only getting out. So I saw an opportunity there to say, okay, she's just about to become a musician. Let me style her for all her performances. And she loved it. Met up with her at the store. The first time I met Boiti was at the store doing an exclusive shopping for her performances. And that's when I met even Buntle Mudisele on the same day with Pretty Ugly.
Yeah.
And that's how my relationships kept on building. Like, I would just meet people through people that I would just style, but it was never a thing of like, I want to become a stylist. It just happened. And I started doing it while doing my retail job. And it started getting really hectic because my job was already hectic as it is, answering to 3 brand managers. And here's this thing that now I absolutely love. And I was trying to do both things at once. It was so bad that I would work Monday to Wednesday doing my normal job and literally go and ask my manager, because he wouldn't be there on Thursdays and Friday, who will do store visits, and be like, can I go do my other job? And it's like, as long as your stuff is done, you can go. But like sometimes the job wouldn't be done. And I just really, really loved this new thing that I was doing. And I'll be like, I'll see it later. And I'll go and push the styling thing on Thursdays and Friday. But it eventually caught up with me. People started seeing that I was lacking. I would get called into meetings. And I'm a Virgo. So as Virgos, we are very perfectionist. So even when we know that we're not giving all our best, we don't like admitting that, because you always want to be your best at every single thing that you touch. So when they had the conversation and they sat me down and they said to me, Udi, your work is lacking. We need to put you under performance management. I was like, no ways. Me? Udi under performance management? That ain't gonna happen, And I was just like, God, it's time to make a choice now.
Yeah.
I cannot be seen as a girl that does not perform at her best.
Was it because of the other clients that were,
No, I just don't like it when I'm underperforming.
Yeah.
I really loved this styling gig, but it was taking away from my 9 to 5 that was paying me every single month because of this love that I had for styling.
So before the gigs, were you performing very well? Out of 10?
I would say I was performing, but was it something that I love, like the way I love styling? Would I, if I were to compare my retail brand job to my styling job, I would say retail I was a 8, and with styling I'm a 10, 11 if maybe. I'll put it even there.
But were you able to multitask the two?
Not when I had my styling and was picking up. Now I'm old enough to admit that. Then, because I was so young, and when you're young, like
How old were you? Sorry. How old were you at the time?
I was 23, left round about 26. Yeah, 23 to 20. No, 22 girl. To 26, because I was 4 years there.
Yeah.
So 22 to 26. So I was young, and like, I've always been a high achiever. Like, I was a high achiever in primary, in high school, won an award in varsity for the top performer. Got an award for top performer in varsity. So telling me that I'm lacking was a big deal for me, And I just couldn't accept that. And I was like, no, I'm going to resign, because I cannot afford that look. And I resigned.
But you had the confidence. I mean, like, the other gig was like what you were saying, that it was a 10, and then the corporate job was like an 8.
Yeah.
So you had to calculate between the two, that, okay, now I feel like I'm good at this, and let me take it. Did you feel like you were taking a risk by leaving your job?
100%, but because my corporate job was giving me an income, a stable income with benefits.
Can I ask, how much were you getting paid? Were you getting paid per week? Because you were working from Monday to Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
And then,
Monday to Friday, I was just like...
But by Wednesday, you were done with your work. And then Thursday and Friday, you can...
Technically, I was done.
Okay, cool. So let me just say, you were basically working Monday to Wednesday, right? How much were you getting paid? You were 23 years old at the time.
At that time, I was getting 16K.
16K.
Yeah. I'm 30 now. So that's a long time ago.
Okay.
Yeah,
if you were still working there, how much would you be getting now?
Maybe 30?
Oh, my word. Okay.
Maybe 30.
What's the name of the company? I need to. I need to.
No, is it really that?
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
That's
average. Yeah, that's the
good.
average. Yeah.
So, man, it's. I'm trying to make calculations here. You're earning 16K, right?
Yeah.
Working Monday to Wednesday. You were done with your work.
Yeah.
And you were not really enjoying it because you mentioned that you're giving it an 8, right? I wonder how much were you getting paid when you were styling your boity, your Bontle Modiselle?
Well, I'll say this. I was newly fresh in the industry, right? So when you're newly fresh in the industry, you want to get your foot in the door. So I was willing to take, and that was my bad. Let me put it like it wasn't their bad, it was my bad because I didn't know my worth. I just loved this thing so much and I was willing to take anything at that time, and I won't do that now. Hell no.
All right.
Like if you know me now, I've learned through those experiences. And like as people, we take those advantages of like, okay, you wanna come and style me? Okay, you wanna do it for free? Okay, people, so I did some gigs for free. I will definitely say I did something, but
were you doing it for exposure? So you quit your job
for exposure.
For exposure. Wow. So now you're dressing celebrities and now you're no longer working a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
How difficult was it, or was it not difficult at all?
No, it was difficult. Let me say this. When you resign, and the benefits of a company is that when you resign, you get money. Right? When you get money, you have some money to get you by up until that time. So for me, I was like, okay, no, it's fine. I've got this money that I have that I've gotten from my previous job. Let me push this thing and do some free gigs here and there to get my name out there. Everything will be fine. Did it happen like that? No. Jeez. What happens when the money's gone?
You're no longer getting the 16K.
You're not getting the 16K every single month, and now you have to scramble. You have to scramble. But I got Live Amp. So just as my money was finishing, I got Live Amp. So I will say this, even through my struggles, the one thing that has always been my superpower or whatever you want to call it is that something always knocks on the door before I'm like, okay, God, maybe the styling thing is not working out. Let me go back to corporate. Because I was there. And then Live Amp came. And how Live Amp came, I just knocked on the door. Didn't know anybody at Live Amp. Sent my CV to Live Amp. And they're like, we love your work. Mind you, at that time, I only had like a few clients in the industry. And my main client was Boity at that time. And it came. And when it came, now I'm getting somewhat of a salary. Not as big as what I used to get. At corporate. But there was something that was getting me by, And even then COVID happened. I left in 2019. In March. Did this whole thing for about like 6 months.
Yeah.
Towards the end of 2019, got the Live Amp gig. 2020 hits.
COVID. Jeez, man.
Yeah. So where am I now?
I actually don't want to ask.
Because my people that were working at corporate were still getting paid while sitting at home.
Or working from home.
And I was like, just a year later. And there's COVID. Why did I make that stupid decision of leaving such a comfortable job? Why did I do that to myself? But I'm a hustler. At the age of 16, I was that girl that worked even though my parents could afford me. No, my parents are not rich, but they're also not poor. we were taught to live with what we could. Like, and if you wanted more, you go and get it. Like, my dad is very strict. Like, you wouldn't just get pocket money just because you want pocket money. You would get lunch tin, go to school, go get high grades. I pay your school fees. That's it. What other kids have, these fancy ass things that other kids have, you don't need that. All you need is an education, and that's it. So I'm a fashion girl in high school, and I like looking good, and I wanted to spend money on clothes. That was my number one thing. I just saw these amazing products in the retail stores that I wanted to buy, but I knew that I had parents to be like, why? You have clothes in your closet. Why do you need more clothes? So I was like, nah, I'm going to go get a job. Didn't tell my parents, went to go and get a job. Started waitressing, started earning my own money.
Yeah.
My first paycheck, guess what happened to it?
What happened?
My dad took it.
Why though? It's your money. You can buy airtime. You
Nah.
can buy a Nokia.
My dad is just that guy. My first paycheck.
Did he take it to save it? Maybe for you, if you
No,
needed.
I've got parents who believe in your first paycheck goes to your parents.
Why though?
I have a very traditional father.
Were you not mad?
Yes.
How much
That was my 700 rand. For me, 700 rand at 16?
No, you can take it.
No, but 700 rand at 16 years, at 16, you remember 700 rand is nothing now.
No, you can
But
take it, that one.
At 16,
Put a full tank in your stanza. Your father's stanza there.
no,
and then-
my dad took it. I was crushed. And I was good at waitressing.
Yeah.
I'm a pretty girl.
Yes,
like
you are.
I used to get tips. I would even get people asking for me to come and serve their tables. So I was good. And mind you, at 16, I'm not supposed to even be waitressing.
True.
So when that guy's like, when I went there and I'm like, I want a job. He's like, okay. You just gotta not tell people you're 16. I was like, okay.
But you looked maybe 18. Or
No, I look like you see, like how now people don't think I'm 30. I looked young.
But
I
you
looked,
do look younger.
Yeah,
You
I
like
do
you're
look young.
20, 24, 25.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So the principles of home, they literally helped you during COVID. Now you had to find a way to make means.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So because I'm always aware of things that are happening, not everything, but I just had the sense of like, okay, there's this COVID thing. But before the president had actually said, okay, everybody wear masks, something in me just said, Udi, start making masks.
Geez, so you had to find a solution in the midst of a disaster.
Yeah, I found a solution before the people said, the president said, my peoples, all of you, you need to wear masks wherever you go. I started making masks for people before that.
Wow.
And then I got corporate companies who said, no, we know a girl who's been posting, because I was just posting and sending broadcast messages on WhatsApp. That's how I was promoting my mask business. I just send like broadcast messages to people to say, I'm making masks. Please order. At that time, people were not really ordering. But the moment the president said, all of y'all wear masks, the messages that I was getting were blowing up. No, we know a girl. Let me refer you to a girl. Then I had a corporate company who ordered 3 batches of hectic masks. I made 20K per each batch.
Jeez, man.
And I had 60K at that time that sustained me through COVID.
Wow.
And I was able to survive COVID. Yeah, I was selling masks for other people,
Yep.
but that was my biggest purchase, 60K, because they kept on coming back. And the reason why they didn't come back after the third one is that big corporate companies at the time were able to get masks done. So I am not like a business that was registered at the time to do this mask thing. And now there's like, health and safety that certain masks were supposed to be done a certain way and I didn't comply. And that's how other corporate companies were able to now get above me.
Yeah.
But I still made
But
60K.
You made a lot of money. Jeez.
Yeah. I made 60K for a girl that's not even working at that time. And for instinct that just said, start selling masks.
Jeez. That's amazing. Tell me about the process of styling someone. Let's say somebody DMs you and say, look, I need your help. I'm going to an event. I'm going to perform. I need you to style me.
It's really not that difficult, hey? You'd call me up and say, Udi, I need styling. And I'm like, okay, what's the brief? I'd ask you, what's the brief? You tell me the brief. And I come up with like a mood board, or I send you pictures. And I'm like, this is what I would love to do. Or you get clients who like, just surprise me. And I just surprise you, right? I quote you.
Okay.
You pay your deposit,
Okay.
or you pay in full, depending on what type of client you are. Once I get that, we start making the outfits. We go and do a fitting. If everything is fine, you get to wear it and you come back for more.
Okay.
And yeah, that's how I've made this brand of the Savage Stylist. I think if anything, what's kept me going for the amount of time that I've been going as a stylist / designer is that in the beginning, I was like most stylists who would go and get clothes from other designers. But because of my perfectionist and my creativity, I hated this idea of like, I'm using another person's ideas on somebody else. You know, the most nerve-wracking thing is if you get a gig like a music video, right?
Yeah.
And a music video, they give you the treatment. And then in the treatment, you're supposed to come up with the mood board to the treatment.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
And when you come up with the mood board to the treatment, you now have to tell the director or the artist that this is what I would like to do with your brand. You come up with these nice pictures and whatsoever. But then when you have to go look for those products in stores or in the designers, you don't find what you put out there. So here you have these crazy ideas on this mood board, but do people actually have those crazy ideas currently in store or currently in their brand house? And that's when I realized that I don't like lying. I don't like presenting this idea of this crazy ideas that I want to do for this music video, but I'm not able to actually execute it exactly like my vision. And that's when I decided, you know what? I don't know how to sew, but I'm going to go and find a seamstress. And I started searching for a seamstress. And I said, can you do this crazy stuff that I really like? And it's like, yeah, I can. And I started working with a different seamstresses, got disappointed, like ups and downs and whatever. And I finally found the seamstress that completely understood me, which is the seamstress that I'm using now. I think we've been working together for like almost 2 years now.
Yeah.
And I just knew from the time that I found him that life was never going to be the same. And at that time, I didn't go by the Savage Stylist. But when I found him, yeah.
Is that what he made?
Yeah. So it's my designs and I can't draw.
Okay.
Mind you, I don't know how God does this thing that he does in my head.
Yeah.
I can't draw. You know, like how other designers put a sketch.
Yeah.
Sorry. Put a sketch and come up with this. I'm able to take a picture and show him and say, okay, on the top part, I want the color to be like this. On the bottom part, I want the bodice to be like this.
Yeah.
The skirt, I want it to be like this. And then I just told him, like, I want the skirt to be like this, but then I just want the belts to be just all over the place, you know? And lucky enough, I have a seamstress who understands the way my mind works. And sometimes he doesn't get it, but we'll sit and we'll figure it out until it's the right outfit, you know? So,
sorry, your clothes, do they have a name, like a brand?
No, they don't.
Okay.
And you're not the
or
first.
Your name is your brand, basically.
Yeah, the Savage Stylist.
Oh, okay.
But you're not the first person to ask me that. And the reason why I haven't come up with a name yet is a name is forever. And because of my perfectionist is that I haven't found the name that resonates with my soul. And once it comes, yeah, you're going to see it.
Wow, man.
Yeah, you're going to see it.
Very beautiful, actually.
Thank you so much.
I thought your brand has the clothes actually has a name. I think you're going to sell crazy. Honestly.
I'm working on it. I was supposed to release a line this year.
Okay.
But you know what I really, really want to do?
What?
So I have this dream, right? Because of the way I've been treated in the industry and the way certain stylists have been treated in the industry. And maybe it's because I'm 30 and I'm just older, wiser, and I come from a very intelligent, like extremely intelligent father who knows business from the back of his head and the law from the back of his head because he used to write speeches for politicians at a point in his time. And when I go through certain things that I go through, I just really want to create a fashion house that incorporates these brilliant kids, because there are these brilliant designers out there that I'm just like, yo, if this guy worked under me, you know, I just really want to create a house where like I'm the head and I have all these designers. And when you come in as a client, you come in, we sit you down, we give you an exclusive experience.
Oh, like a house of Zweden in a way.
Yes, and
okay.
you come and then you're like, which one do you want? And you choose. Like, you know, when you go to a consultant's agency.
They give you whiskey and stuff like that.
Yeah, and then you just choose, okay, this one does like the red carpet stuff. This one does the street. This one does that, you know? And I just really want to create a fashion house where you really experience exclusivity, but more so than anything, you just really get paid disgustingly well because you're so good at what you do. And we just don't let celebrities just, you know, use us for tags. And it happens because we're young and we want our foot in the door. And like, I just wish like these kids had fashion houses that where they wouldn't have to go straight to a celebrity to get noticed. And you just come to this fashion house where you learn from the likes of me who have gone through it already and where now I know my worth and I groom you so that when people already come and use your services, like you're getting paid well from get-go and you don't have to go through that journey. That's what I would really, really love.
What are some of the challenges that you've experienced in this industry?
So some of the challenges, and something that is very dear, close to my heart, I really dislike it when big brands don't pay you well. And they can.
Is it because of your black?
You know what? When you say that, do you think Agert Kotsia would ever allow to style one of these biggest celebrities and not get paid his worth? Do you think that some of the things that you say as celebrities and say, I am Beyonce, so it's a privilege for you to style me? Do you think Gert would just allow that? He would say, I'm Gert. Could say, I'm one of the best designers in South Africa. So why can't I?
Nothing's going to stop you. The tricky part is that a lot of people, they're not going to take you serious because of your brand and what you've worked on and stuff like that. I don't think it's fair for brands to treat people different, to say this is hard, you know, this is justice. We treat them different, right? I think we both needed to be treated different. If I go into corporate and I want to shoot something and I charge 20K and a white person comes and they charge 50K, why can't I get 50K?
Exactly.
I deserve that 50K.
Exactly.
I deserve even more.
And you know when I realized that? When I went to Senegal, and an entire superstar, Akon. Do you understand that? Akon, biggest star that I've ever styled. Global. Got there, paid me my fee. And on top of that, tipped me.
How much she paid you?
I'm saying that. We were long. I got paid in dollars. You know?
Yeah. Were you with him?
No. I was alone.
Okay.
I got paid in dollars. Just at the end of my trip, this man said, "You've done an amazing job." And to say you've done an amazing job, I'm going to give you.
When you saw that money
Yes.
coming in, I don't know, maybe he paid you via PayPal. I don't know.
He paid me via paper.
Okay.
Listen, I still have the dollars still in an envelope stashed away somewhere far in somewhere. Because, anybody could be watching this.
How did that affect you mentally? Were you like, wait, I've been sleeping? When he paid you in dollars, he tipped you with an envelope.
I didn't open it. I went to the airport. It was the day that he dropped me he took me from my hotel and had his driver drop me at the airport, sorry. And I didn't open it. It was sealed, closed, didn't open it.
How big is it? Is it this big or?
It was big. It was like a big envelope. It was big, like a normal envelope of a letter.
It can be this size. That's fine. I want to know how big was it? Was it this size? This size?
I'm telling you that.
Because it can be like this.
Listen,
do you know what I mean? And then like flat. You know what I mean?
It was a lot. I'm not gonna tell you how much, but it was a lot. And something just said to me, I'm not opening this envelope now. I landed in South Africa. That's when I opened it. I was like, what? First thing I did was send that man a message and say, oh my goodness. And he called me. Immediately after I sent that message to say thank you, Akon called me and he said, thank you for everything. I want you to be a part of my team. And the first thing that I said, I'm like, Akon, why me? And he's like, you deserve it. And I kept on saying, but Akon, you can have anybody you want. Why me? And he kept on saying, because you deserve it. And I remember when he called me, I was in the fabric store. I sent him a message because of the time difference. He didn't reply immediately. So when he called me, I was in the fabric store having that conversation saying, why me in a fabric store? And I remember just standing after that phone call in the fabric store and I'm like, so these fabrics, the stuff that I do got me here and this is how much I need to get paid? I'm sleeping on myself. There's an entire Akon that wants me under convict culture.
Jeez, wow.
And I am allowing certain people to tell me that they are Beyoncés when they're not Beyoncés? An entire Akon is paying me my freaking worth.
On top of that, tips.
Never had to fight for money. Never had to send messages and say, when can you settle my bill?
Jeez, man.
It's the most drainful thing to have to every week go on your phone and be like, hey, please settle your bill. You're an adult. You're supposed to settle your bill.
Or communicate at least.
Exactly. Yeah. And I take so much pride in making sure when I'm using a makeup artist or I'm paying my assistant or paying my, seamstress, that I pay them well. Paying people well goes a long way. You know what that does for them? It builds their character and the fact that they can now do things by themselves. You know what I find that celebrities do? And I could be wrong. You know?
Wait, is it South African celebrities or?
No, South African celebrities, because not like I'm
You global, girl. Like,
yeah, but I spent
Come on.
I spent only like 2 weeks with the man, so I can't base it on
but
2
you global.
You know,
I see,
thank you.
global. Yeah, you international.
Yeah, thank you.
Gotta put some spice on your name, you know?
But I find most of the time that the people that work for celebrities always complain about their paycheck. And I find that when they do need something, it's a thing of that they go to the celebrity and say like, ish, I don't have simple things like food, you know? Or just money to pay, like the smallest things. Think of anything like really, really small. And I would ask myself like, no, you're a grown adult. You should be able to at least do these small things. But they're doing that because they're not getting paid well. And they know, okay, if they don't go to their employer to ask those things, those little things that they, like, who else do they go to? But if you pay your people well, they wouldn't even ask you for those little things. It would hurt my heart when my tailor would come to me and say, my mother is sick. I just need 1,000, you know? And I'm the type of person like, that's my tailor. Even if I've paid him his rate, I'm going to go over and above for him. And I'll even send double that amount. But you get what I'm saying? That's somebody in the hospital that needs something. But you get people who ask for the most simplest, smallest things like, I just need to get home.
I think black people have been robbed so many times that when we get the opportunity to start a business, we feel some type of way that, look, I've been robbed and I need to find a way not to pay. This person doesn't deserve so much because I didn't get this much. And I think that's where the problem comes from. Do you know what I mean? Paying somebody, it's very important because if you don't pay them, that can literally destroy their confidence. If I'm working on a client and they pay me on time or before I even do their job, that builds up my confidence. But if I have to chase people, they make me feel like whatever that I'm doing or whatever that I'm going to do for them, I don't deserve the money in return. So I think there's a lot of problem in the black society whereby the payment issue. Yes, we can start so many businesses in Africa and all that, but as long as we're struggling with paying people, we're not going anywhere.
And guys, paying people well, that's how your blessings come.
And not even paying people well, but paying people what they deserve.
100%, right? Why do we have this culture of if we get a big gig? And because I've seen conversations like that, you know, just by word of ear, where you hear, yo, I know, we've got this big gig coming. Let's see how we're going to like save this money so we can buy cars and whatsoever. And then you go to the people who are working in the production, like stylists and makeup artists. We have been on so many sets like that, where you are being told, just because this person is a big artist, don't think there's money here. You know, you know, like you give your rate and then you're like, no, that rate needs to go down. Just because this person is a big artist, there's no money here, right? Use this as a learning curve. Then you find out that, no, the company got paid a huge load of money. People forget that as creatives, we talk on the side and we find out these informations, you know? And it's really going to start with us by changing that. Like, I've gotten to a stage where like, if you don't want to pay my rate, it's fine. Go use the next stylist. It's fine. But I went through all of that as well. I just know better now. And I know the real now. And I know the conversations that I had on the side now. And I'm like, I'm either going to conform and be like these people and start like associating myself with these people so that when these gigs come, I can be the person that also does it to other. Because once you become part of that clique, you now start doing it to the other people and you start becoming the problem. And I was like, I'm not going to be part of the problem. I want to be part of the solution.
I was going through your social media pages and then looking through your clothes, and I was so impressed. I noticed that you were nominated at the Basadi Awards. I was like, wow, she's good. She's gone. She's doing very well for herself. And me and my wife, we were watching the Basadi Awards also on SABC2 on a TV channel. I'm just going to edit the SABC2. They're not paying me for that.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of people that I know that were nominated there, but I was so surprised that I couldn't see you there. So I was like, Kanti, what's happening? Was there like a small award ceremony at the back? So where they can't show what happened?
You mean when they announced the winners?
Yeah, like maybe you guys were like, there's like, when they're creating like award ceremony, there's like these big stars and then there's like these small stars, whereby you'd be shocked at how did this person get this award? Because I didn't see them on TV. Like, why couldn't I see you?
Justice, I wish I was behind the tables or at the chair where these decisions are being made to say these certain people we're gonna air, and these types of certain people we're not gonna air. I don't know what discussions were had. I don't know what the real reasons were. Did they let me know that I'm not going to be on air? Yes, they did. But what I do know is what it made me feel when I watched those awards. Mind you, I watched with my mother and my father and the kids who voted for me, and my community who voted for me. The same 2 rands that were used for every other person that voted for the people that did get aired, that got me to that stage. They were watching, And when they asked me the same question that you're asking me now, I had no answers for them. But what I do know is that there was disappointment from me, from my people, to say, why? Why not me? There was so much limelight around me at that time. Like when I got nominated, just the nomination, Basadi Awards sent me a message to say to me that they're going to, a journalist wants to interview me on a newspaper. They put me on TV for when I was nominated there. I was walking the red carpet and I was on ETV. When I won the award, I had 3 newspapers who wrote about me, and Joburg TV as well, who interviewed me. This was before the actual screen that they had when they showcased the awards on TV on the 27th of August. So in my head, I'm like, so many opportunities that I'm getting from this platform that I so appreciate, that is about women empowerment, that this person who sits behind the scenes is now in front of the screen and being recognized in the public eye. Am I not your shining star? Am I am I not what represents women the women who are behind the scenes are as important as the people that we see every single day on our screens. That's what Basadi did for me. They showed me that I am freaking important. I was so happy. Cloud 9. When I didn't see myself on TV. Yeah, it stinged. But it didn't sting as much as seeing the disappointment from the kids, my parents, the community. You can take that sting when it's just yours, right? You can sit on it. You can deal with it. But having to answer questions that even you don't know, I would love to know. But I don't.
Jeez, man, I'm sitting here, I'm like, you got nominated, you won the award, and you got so many connects. People called you out, like, yo, we want to work with you. I can only imagine if maybe people saw you on TV, how many people were going to reach out to you. Because mainstream is so big. SABC2 is so big. But why couldn't they just holler at you like, yo, we're going to put you on? Because let's say the three of us, right? Let's say that maybe we got nominated for Amapiano Song of the Year, right? He wants the award, but they had to play the nominees, right? Which means even if I didn't get the award, but people saw me on TV, but you won the award, but people never saw you on TV. It sounds so unfair to you. And especially when you're a woman. I thought Basadi is about empowering women. But why though?
I don't know.
Were you the only person whom didn't get screened on TV?
I don't believe so. I do think there was a few of us who didn't get screened. But majority of the people that didn't get screened were people who didn't show up. And there were some people who didn't show up that did get aired. So for me, it's like, I showed up on the day looking all snazzy, I always do. Went there, had my award-winning speech, and my speech was brilliant, if I may say so myself. Yeah. For it not to be aired, damn.
Maybe it's something that you said during your speech. Have you ever thought of that?
What could have I possibly have said that would have made me not get aired? Hey, I'm powerful, Mus.
Yeah,
I am powerful. I don't know, Justice.
Yeah.
Let's go sit with these people and ask them.
Yeah. Did you write down your speech?
I didn't.
You just went there and then you just...
Listen, I didn't even know that I would get the win. Because I was competing with greats. Like, out of the people that I was competing with, or being nominated with, rather, I was the underdog. I was only doing this thing for 4 years. These amazing ladies have been doing it for years, and for me to know, because I got told by someone on the side that my votes were so high that even the runner-up didn't have a chance to get where I was going,
Wow. That's a lot. Did you know how many votes you got?
No. I don't know. Didn't really care. I just cared about wow, my community did it.
Besides the award, were you disappointed with how they operated things, like choosing people who to air, not to air?
I think I was more disappointed with what was said and what was shown. I was disappointed that I wasn't going to be on TV.
Okay.
But when I first heard the news, it was more like, it's part of the game.
And you're not actually fighting to be on TV. You are actually fighting for the plug that TV will bring to you, the amount of followers, and not even followers. Let me just say, somebody who's a big client can literally see you on SABC2, like, yo, I like that girl. That's a big follow.
Yes.
Yeah.
So 100% am I ignorant of the fact that if I'm going to be on TV, that can open some doors for me? 100% I'm not, because, just me being written in newspapers opened some doors. So imagine what national TV can do for you. But if you know my heart, I'm always about the bigger picture. And the bigger picture was like, when kids vote for you.
Yeah.
And I didn't even plan for kids to vote for me. I went to a school where my good friend does the film industry and does this great platform for the kids where you make them learn about the industry. And he had asked me a long time ago, even before being nominated for the Basadi Music Awards, that Udia would really love you to come and do a 3-day course with the kids about what you do. And so when I got there and started teaching the kids about the industry and what I did and whatsoever, and the guy said, "No, man, you're so great at teaching these kids this thing. We need to make sure that the kids vote for you." And hey, the kids showed up, And I didn't even know that I had a love for speaking and teaching kids. And I discovered that about myself through that. And for me, some of these kids go through the most ridiculous hardships that kids shouldn't even be going through. And when I won, the messages that I got from those kids saying, "Ma'am, we are so happy that you won. Like, you're giving us hope that we can be something tomorrow," and all of that. And then you crush those kids when they don't see you. Kids latch on things like that. They latch.
Yeah.
So what am I supposed to tell the kids?
They voted for you. They voted. Now they feel robbed.
Yeah. What am I supposed to tell the kids? That, this is how life works, child. You're going to get to places and some things are not going to happen even though you deserve it.
Jeez.
And that's why I had to put that statement that I did on social media. I had to make the kids understand that adversity is going to happen. And when it does, you take it on your shoulders. I didn't want to be one of those people whereby something didn't happen. Here are all these questions. I don't have the answers to those questions. And I just think, oh no, in a week's time or in 2 weeks' time, everybody would have forgotten that I'm not on TV. I wanted to acknowledge the fact that this happened. I was hurt. My people was hurt. But this is life. And we're going to get through it. And God is bigger.
Jeez. You've worked with a couple of celebrities, a couple of influencers. Who would you like to work with?
In South Africa or internationally?
Let's say in South Africa. Yeah, in South Africa. That one person, that one phone call, that client that it would make you very happy if you'd get that phone call to say, "Yo, can we do something?"
This might sound cliche, right?
Because you've worked with who? Akon, Bontle Modiselle, Boiti, who else?
AKA Nasty C, Nadia Nakai, Bushle. Oh.
Jeez, your resume.
Like Lady Do.
Oh my word.
Hope Ramafola. There's so many.
But I'm sure there's 3 people, but there's just this one person.
There is somebody that I would love to work with. And it might sound cliche, but Bonang.
Okay.
And my reasoning for wanting to work with Bonang is not because she's Bonang, She is Bonang,
Queen Bee, yeah.
Yeah, she's Queen Bee. But my one thing that I really, really love about Bonang, when it comes to her work, she takes that shit seriously. Like, Bonang has a work ethic level. Like, She was the best presenter this country will ever see, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And even when we saw her on her reality show, when it came to a business, she didn't play around. Yes, we would see all these other things that happen on the Twitter streets and in her personal life. But if there's one thing that I respect about certain individuals, is individuals who take their work seriously. I think if I go to a Bonang and I say, Bonang, I'm going to make you look like a freaking beast and you're going to be the best dressed person this world has ever seen. But however, I charge the most expensive out of all stylists. She'll be like, bring it. That's what I believe.
Globally,
Tiana Taylor. Ooh.
Yeah.
I think I'm a little Tiana Taylor myself.
I'm literally getting you excited.
Yeah. I think I'm a Tiana Taylor. I got a little bit of Tiana Taylor in myself. Like, that woman is a beast. Like, she's a fashionista. She's a a musician. She styles other celebrities. She's a creative director for music videos. So that girl is like, even if I don't go and style her, I just want to be in the background and just see how she does things the way she does it. And then I could just go back and just like, wow. Like, I just want to tap into her mind.
Yeah.
Another person is Taraji P. Henson. Oh, I love that woman. Like, I really want to style people that are really going to make me learn from them. It's not so much about the big names that they have. Taraji P. Henson is one of the best actors, but has the best personality. You know? Like, when I watched Taraji on Cookie, I just wanted to be a cookie. I'm like, shit, I want to be as savage as this woman. I want my business to be this savage, you know? So I look at people like that who are really savage about their business. Like, everything that I do and touch needs to be savage, hence the Savage Stylist. So I look up to women who are really savage in what they do. And yeah, another one is Beyonce. Who wouldn't want to work with Beyonce? Like, that's the best performer that you will ever see. And she's bringing the looks.
Yeah.
Every single time you open your phone, who do you see? Queen B. With looks on looks. If you thought that look was better than the previous one, she's like, no, tomorrow's going to be better. And I'm going to perform my ass and be the best performer. That woman never gets tired. She got 3 kids and still doing it like nobody has ever done it before. Who wouldn't want to learn from that? Like, I want to work with people that even though I'm there to style, I get to learn. You know, I don't want to work for people who want to tell you, hey, me, I'm the biggest artist, whatever, but you're not feeding me anything.
Yeah.
You're not feeding into my soul. I'm not learning from you, but you've got this big chat about how big you are. Show me how big you are. Let me learn something from you. You know? And I do have a few people that I learned from in South Africa.
Is it?
Yeah, I do.
Wow. I can't wait for your clothing line, actually. I can't wait for the name of it. I think that's gonna sell. How much do you charge from? Like, is it 3K?
10 up. 10K up.
Oh, my word. I just
10K
said
up.
3K. Oh,
10K up. Like, I don't play.
I just said 3K.
No, 10K up.
10K up.
Yeah, 10K up. That's the levels that we are dealing with now.
So how much? Or you don't have a limitation?
It depends how many outfits.
Oh, sometimes it can be more than 2. Sometimes it can be more than 5.
Do you know that in America you charge for the outfit and you charge for the styling fee?
Jeez. Wow. That's a lot of money.
You charge for me. I had
Okay.
I was working on this project, and I get a phone call from one client. And she had paid the rate that I gave her. And she calls me and she says, I think I paid too much.
Wahaf.
It's not so. And then she also said, like, people in the industry are talking. And people in the industry are talking that you're too expensive for them. And for me, it's like disrespectful. Because I'm not going to come to you and tell you that people are talking and 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3, and therefore your podcast is whatever. If you don't want my services, go to the next. Do you get what I'm saying? What do you expect me to do? Okay, hi, sorry. People are saying I'm too expensive, so therefore I'm going to lower my prices. No. These are people, when they really want to do something, they make a plan.
How do you deal with the client that says, look, you charge 100K, can you take it down to at least 90?
Listen, it's not to say that I am not willing to negotiate.
Yeah.
I am willing to negotiate, but it's the way you come and do it. Don't come and do it and say, hey, people out in the streets are saying you're expensive. And then you name drop. Hey, this person. How do you expect me to look at those clients that I work on on a daily level? That's also disrespectful to them. Because what if they're not even saying those things? What if I was the type of person to go to those people and say, this person has said 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You're not just disrespecting me, you're disrespecting their names as well. And you're disrespecting the business that I spent building. Were you there when I was building it? Did you invest money in it? For you to be able to have the kahunas to tell me that I am too expensive for the industry and therefore I should drop my prices. Are you my mentor? You're a client. And I'm offering a service. And if you're unhappy with my service, please go use another person. Because there are amazing designers out there and stylists out there. And I want them to work with you. I support every designer and every stylist. I want people to be great. In fact, I want to compete with the great. If people know me, I'm the type of person that will even refer you to the next biggest stylist. I'm not afraid of competition or creativity. I embrace it because I know what I got. And I know what I got is different from the next design. That's what makes us so different. You know? Like, let's just respect that. And you as an artist, the reason why you are doing what you do is because you're different from the next person. Do you want to be disrespected like that? So sometimes I'm kind and I don't talk too much and people see the side of me and they're like, because I know when to speak and when to keep quiet. When I'm handling my business, you treat a client as a client. You listen, you shut up, you get that money, you leave, you never deal with them again. If it doesn't serve your purpose. And if they want to come back, you charge them double. That money that you were complaining about, now it's doubled. That's how I handle my business.
Thank you so much. I had one more question, but I'm sure you're not going to answer me. I wanted to ask you, how much is your business worth?
Oh, that's a hard question.
Because I can hear about my 10,000, 15,000, 50,000. I'm like, okay, you worked with so many people that are actually paying you. They're not giving you issues. They pay you. Yeah. Akon paid you, I don't know how much.
Yeah.
He also paid you a bonus.
That's a hard question. And I would need somebody to evaluate that for me, actually. Because it's not that I don't want to answer you. I don't know.
10 million?
I wish.
15 million? 2 million? Okay.
I wish. But
5 million?
But you know what?
Yeah.
But you know what? The fact that you put me in the millions means it's coming.
Because you're worth millions.
You know?
But like, this woman is international,
You
bro.
know?
Like, you are global.
It's coming.
You are a global stylist.
It's coming. It's
You are a
coming.
global stylist.
It's coming.
You worked with, I saw Davido as well.
Yes.
You worked with global artists.
It's coming.
You are global.
I am worth more than what people think I am worth, because sometimes the way people talk to me is ridiculous, because like on a normal day-to-day basis, and if you look at my social media, I'm not like most stylists who puts themselves out there. But that's just because I'm very silent about my moves and what I have
certain things,
and what I have in the bank and all of that, because people don't need to know that. As long as I can make sure that my people are paid, and you understand, I don't value lavish things. What's important to me is making sure that the business of how my business looked yesterday does not look like how it looks tomorrow. Because most of the time people invest on themselves.
Okay.
The car, the house. But then the business is still
lacking. Do you wear your own clothes?
Yes. All the time.
You don't go to any store?
Nah.
Would you wear?
I can't anymore.
Would you wear another African brand?
Yes, of course. That I'll definitely.
But these other
retail brands, it's very difficult for me to wear anymore.
You like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Jeez. You know, when I was telling you about your business is worth millions, I was not talking about millions of rands. I was talking about millions of dollars. Because they paid you in dollars.
Yeah,
so which
did.
means you are. Imagine you spoke about you going to America, which is amazing, and you definitely gonna go there.
Yeah.
So immediately when you land there, you're no longer with rands.
100%.
So now so I was used to work with DJ Spoo, and he would go to the States to go DJ. He says when he gets there, their dollars, they hit different. And let's say so what he would charge here in South Africa, it's like 5 times more what they would pay him that side. So which is crazy. So I think your business is worth millions of dollars. $5 million, $10 million. That's 2030. $15 million. 35. So it's gonna keep on going and going and going and going.
Thank you.
You're a millionaire.
Thank you.
Can
from your lips to God's ears, I just really want to say that, because it's very important for me to manifest. Like I believe so highly of manifesting it. So I just put a stamp on it by saying from your lips to God's ears. I think I'm going to look back on this day, and when I do make those millions, I remember that justice manifested that for me.
Thank you.
And it's going to happen.
Definitely. It's done.
It's done.
It's done. Thank you.